Okay, so I got that up there, but how am I going to get that and that in there? Do I got to take all that off? I don't know. What's up, everybody? Everybody getting ready for the season like I am? Hope so. Should be a good season. This thing I'm having a blast with, getting it all set up. Yeah, there's going to be some content there. If you guys curious about the new Bronco Raptors and how they do, be sure you tune in and see. Oh, this looks so sad. So sad. Yeah, I need some rear shocks. I'm putting the word out right now. I need rear shocks, and I'm pretty much going to need a whole motor. I've got the intake, but I'm going to need a exhaust manifold, turbo, whole complete motor. Then there's that. That's a lot of fun. I might sell it. If price is right. I never drive it. So, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dean. This is Hoover Maneuvers. And today, I've got a project that I've been kind of putting off because to me, it kind of seemed like it's going to be a big job. Got these nice, beefy HCR lower A-arms to go on the car. And let me tell you what, these things are heavy. They feel like they're like 40 pounds, but I weighed them, they're 26 pounds a piece. What do these weigh? I don't know, but when we get them off, we'll weigh them. So, here's the concern. Do I have to take all this off to get these off? Because I remember doing the gusset kit on my X3, and it was a pain. But I don't know. I'm kind of looking more into this, and it looks like it might not be that bad. We got the bolts there. It looks like there's room to undo that bolt and slide it forward. And then we got this bolt here. Looks like there's room to slide it forward. So maybe I just undo the shock, pull the wheels, pull the hubs, pull the axle, drop it down, pull the bolts out, yank her out. So join me as we take on this journey and try to get these off. Oh, by the way, Carnage welders. Very cool, very cool. That's my shop welder. Yeah, I go cheap, but it works good. It's Harbor Freight. But what do you do when you're out on the trail and you don't have 220? Break up the Carnage welder. You guys will see that later. Battery operated MIG welder. So cool. All right, so we're gonna get these wheels off. I've got to take off part of the skid plate here to expose those front bolts. And we're going to dig in and we're going to see how far we have to take this thing apart just to swap out these A-arms. So let me get this area prepped and we'll be right back. Okay, so we got the front wheels off. We got this front skid off. You probably don't have that front skid. I added the factory UTV skid, so I had all that. And it's looking pretty good. We got these two bolts here that holds the back side of the A-arms. And as long as these nuts are captured back here, she will just pull that off and drop that out. And then we've got these bolts here. You can see that. Just pull them out. The nuts look like they're captured. I've got, of course, the limit strap and the shock attached to the lower A-arm. And then I've got the axle going through here. The biggest thing is getting this lower ball joint off and getting this popped out. So to pop that out, I'm gonna have to undo this axle nut right here because that needs to swing out so that this can drop down. And whether or not I have to pull the axle, maybe not. As long as everything swings out of the way, probably be okay. And as long as I can put it in through the new A-arm, that'll be cool. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this off and the caliper off, working my way towards swinging this out, loosening the axle so I can swing the knuckle out. And yeah, undoing that, that's got to pop up. In order for that to pop up, the axle's going to have to go the way. So let's see what that takes us to. Okay, axle nut. Here's what we got going on. This castle nut is turned a little bit this way, loosened hair up against the cotter pin, and which doesn't want it to come out. So I've got this pry bar in here, and I got this crescent, and I'm trying to bang it because I need to tighten it a hair to make me a nice open keyway here where I can slide that cotter pin out. Yeah, I've been banging on this and holding on this, and it ain't moving. So what I'm gonna do next, because I'm gonna replace that cotter pin anyway, is I'm gonna cut that off flush there. I'm gonna get a socket and use my impact to slightly tighten it, and then I'll push that cotter pin out and be able to loosen it, and I'll just use a new cotter pin. We'll see how that works. Okay, so I took my grinder, I cut off the cotter pin right there, and I got my big impact with my axle socket. See, it says axle. Just so you know, that's a 30 millimeter. And I was able to tighten that nut a little bit, make that keyway a little more clear, and it's coming out. So I got my vice grips on there, and I'm just gonna, cotter pin gone. So it worked, so I'm gonna leave this in the video since it worked. So I'll get this off and see what's next. Okay, let me show you where I am so far. Got the axle nut off using the 30 millimeter, taking the caliper off. It's hanging over here right now, but you've got T45 Torx, and then you got these that you have to hold with a 19 millimeter wrench, and that comes off and the axle comes off real easy. This thickness right here, you want to maintain. You don't want your pistons to gradually come back out. So this is a 11 millimeter Allen socket that I got holding that in there. There is a place down here that holds the brake line, 10 millimeter. But then here and here, gonna have to drill it out. So I'm gonna loosen up some more things. Oh, also, we have a 19 millimeter, oops, sorry about that, a 19 millimeter right here for the ball joint. So I'm gonna loosen a few more things and make it so this A-arm is free. I'll be taking the lower shock mount off too. Okay, I got my brake line free. I got my smart shock wire free. And I was gonna work on the sway bar end links next, but look what I came across. I have not touched that yet with a wrench. And look at that, it's about to come off. What's the other side look like? Look at that. So if you guys have a rattle up here, seems like these kind of fall victim like the X3s did. Sway bar end links, they loosen up on you. Okay, we are quite a bit apart here. I've taken a lot of steps off camera. So let me show you what I found out. There's not enough room when you undo this bolt to pop this up without removing the axle. To remove the axle, you've got to take the spindle, drop it all the way out, slide the axle out, and then here's where the lower A-arm pops out. These are unibearing, so it's a little easier than the X3s as far as getting the axle out and not having to worry about the rotor coming off or anything like that. So this top is really easy to take out. It's kind of like a kingpin. Just take that out and slide it out. This is all pretty easy. The biggest thing is just getting the shock strapped up and then just attaching these here. So what it looks like is the only thing we're down to now is that bolt and that bolt. As long as they're captured, should be able to drop those bolts, drop the A-arm, and then see if I'm gonna have to pull this ball joint out I had a brand new pair of ball joints somewhere, and I don't know where they are now. I was gonna put them in the freezer and put them in the new A-arms because those are naked. So let's see those come out. Okay, just wanted to show you that, yeah, these nuts are encapsulated back there. So as I loosened this bolt and the forward bolt, it allowed the A-arm to go down. So that just tells me that before I tighten those bolts, I need to have the A-arm up next time. But we're getting ready to pull it out. See how successful I am. Yeah, I'll have to do some prying for sure. Let's see how it goes here. Oh, not bad. See if it drops out. There it is. Okay, so apparently these are the boogers that's hard to get out. The new A-arms come with bushings. So HCR tells me it's gonna make it real easy to put the new ones in. We'll see how that goes. But assembly is gonna be just like the disassembly. Of course, you know, I had to explore as I went, and I wish it was a lot smoother. I wish I could have filmed while I was doing some of the stuff, but I just want to give you guys an idea what kind of a job you're in for. It's not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. On the X3, you got to take bulkheads out, all kinds of stuff. They don't have room for the bolt to come out on the X3s. Here you do, so I think it's all pretty good. So we'll get this reassembled. I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. Okay, so we got the new A-arm in on the driver's side, and like I said, the assembly was just the opposite of disassembly. I will say that with the limit straps, I did have to buy a longer bolt than what the A-arm came with. Otherwise, the HCR supplies a bolt for this, and that'll work just fine. I still got to add in my clips that HCR supplies because this was drilled and riveted into the original A-arm, and it said now it's going to be attached here. But looks pretty stout. I did mention earlier that these A-arms feel very, very heavy, and they do, they feel heavy. But the HCR, this is not the one that's lightweight, weighs 26 pounds. The stock A-arm weighs 20 pounds. So yeah, I mean, it's almost a third heavier, but it's only 6 pounds heavier. But you've got all that extra strength there. So, looking pretty good. I'm gonna continue on the other side. When I get it completely done, I'll give you a full shot. Okay, so I got the other arm on. I still need to secure the brake lines, but I'm putting the factory UTV front skid plate back on, and I just came across this. The arms are fatter, so you got to do some clearancing on, excuse me, on the skid plate, or else the holes aren't going to line up good. So just wanted to show you that before I get too far. We'll come up with a summary next. All right, guys, the HCR lower A-arm job is done. Wasn't really a step 1, 2, 3 how-to on this. I wish I could have done more as far as that goes. I just want to give you guys an idea of what you're in for. I was really hoping it wasn't going to be like the X3 where you got to take off pretty much the whole front clip of the body and everything. And it wasn't that way. It worked out real good. Looks like Can Am was a little smarter this time about how the A-arms attach. So it went good. Here it is. It's sitting on the ground. Look at the high clearance these things have. It's crazy, crazy. So it's all done. Pretty straightforward. Basically, just make sure you go ahead and take that knuckle all the way off. And then you are going to have to reuse your ball joints from your old A-arms. But the HCR A-arms come with the bushings, so you don't have to worry about trying to take these bushings off. I didn't try. I don't know why that one's boogered up. But I didn't try to take these off. Apparently there's a special tool, and apparently it's a pain in the butt. Kind of what I hear. So anyway, getting ready for dune season's coming up. We've got sand show next week, or excuse me, we've got sand show next month. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Sorry it wasn't just a complete how-to, but you guys have a pretty good idea now what you're in for if you do this job yourself. The hardest part of doing this job is basically just putting in the ball joints. If you put in new ball joints, which mine are on order, that's why this video is taking so long. They're still not in yet, so I reused the old ones. The hardest part of the job is taking out the ball joints from your old A-arms and putting them in the new ones. If you just start off with new ball joints, put them in the freezer, heat up the A-arm, tap them in, it works out pretty good. So again, thanks for tuning in. Man, thanks for all the subscribers. Really appreciate it. I really wish I was out with a lot of you guys out at UTV Invasion right now. I'm sure you guys are having a blast, but we'll get out there soon. Again, like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, and we'll see you on the next one.